Well, I think one of the questions that we've considered, simply because we have a daughter that's getting older, is how do you know when you're ready to start dating? And so I think if we're thinking about this biblically, I'll throw out just a couple of things. I think I'd be looking for a sound relationship with the Lord, an understanding of the grace of God. And what I mean by that, I think the litmus test I've always tried to lay out at the Village is pay attention to what you do when you blow it, when you stumble and fall, when you screw up, when you fall into sin. Are you running to the Lord? Or are you running from the Lord? So I'd consider that. Do you have a good understanding of the gospel? The second thing is, are you walking in the type of Christian community where men and women might weigh in on the relationship? And so I think that would be a second piece. I think a third piece is a good understanding of what you're dating towards and for. Are you dating just because you want to hang out, or just because you want to make out? Or are you dating with a view of the end goal of marriage, lifelong commitment, children, and the type of family unit that glorifies God and make much of His name? And so that, I would say, those are the pieces that I would make sure are there. And so you can already see by what I'm saying that I don't believe junior hires should be dating. And that's not because I have a junior hire, all right? I was saying that before I had a junior hire, but maybe a little bit, sure. But ultimately, I don't know what we're dating towards if we're seventh graders. I don't know that we have a strong enough concept of gospel living to make the type of decisions that might haunt you for the rest of your life, or might create some collateral damage there that really affects how you see the opposite sex moving forward. And so those are the things that I try to encourage, like even 20-year-olds who come to me. I mean, this is what I'm saying to them. If you're 35 and you're coming to me going, hey, am I ready to date? I'm going to ask these questions. Do you understand the gospel? Do you have strong Christian community? And are you dating with the biblical end in view? Anything else, Boo?
I mean, I think that's pretty much it. And not to use this as like a caveat, but I mean, no one's going to be perfect, but like you said, so don't think, oh, well, I don't have it together yet. I haven't sorted through all my baggage, because you might even have baggage you don't even realize you have. But what do you do when you're confronted with that? Do you try to make it better, or do you run to the Lord? Yeah. Do you run and preach the gospel to yourself? So yes, going for all those things, but if you're kind of like, well, gosh, I don't know if I'm ever going to be ready, don't be defeated. What do you do when you do mess up? Who do you run to? Do you run to yourself to fix it, or do you run to the gospel?
Yeah, and I think I'll just add this as we kind of end on this question. I think that the idea of marriage is such a huge sanctifier of our lives. Most single guys that I know don't think they're selfish. They live by themselves, or they live with a bunch of other dudes, and they just don't think they're dirty, and they don't think they're selfish, and and then they get married, and all of a sudden they become aware. And there are certain ladies that think, that they've got everything in order, and then getting married reveals some things about us, because for the first time, someone's seeing all of us. Yeah. They're seeing what no one else sees at work. They see who we are in ways that nobody but maybe our parents before them ever did. And that's going to just reveal some things, and that's going to cause some conflict. And that conflict, it should lead to greater sanctification, greater love for the Lord, and greater love for the spouse. And so there we go.
Good job.
Thanks, babe.